Case summary: Texas v. Johnson, 1989, is a landmark Supreme Court case that dealt with the issue of whether the desecration of the American flag constitutes a form of speech protected under the First Amendment. The case arose from a protest during the 1984 Republican National Convention in Dallas, Texas, where Gregory Lee Johnson burned an American flag in opposition to President Ronald Reagan's policies. Johnson was subsequently charged and convicted under a Texas law that prohibited the desecration of venerated objects, including the American flag. Johnson challenged his conviction, arguing that his actions were a form of symbolic speech protected by the First Amendment. Background facts: Claimant, plaintiff, Gregory Lee Johnson. Defendant, State of Texas. Incident: in 1984, during the Republican National Convention in Dallas, Texas, Gregory Lee Johnson participated in a political demonstration in protest against Reagan administration policies. As part of the protest, Johnson unfurled an American flag, doused it with kerosene, and set it on fire while protesters chanted slogans. No one was physically injured, but some witnesses were deeply offended by the act. Legal proceedings: Johnson was arrested, tried, and convicted under a Texas statute that criminalized the desecration of a venerated object, including the American flag. He was sentenced to 1 year in prison and fined $2,000. Argument: Johnson's argument. Johnson argued that his act of burning the flag was a form of symbolic speech intended to convey a political message and was therefore protected by the First Amendment. He contended that the Texas law infringed upon his freedom of expression. State of Texas argument. The state of Texas argued that the law was necessary to preserve the flag as a symbol of national unity and to prevent breaches of the peace. Texas maintained that the government's interest in preserving the flag's symbolic value outweighed Johnson's right to free speech. Final outcome and legal justification. Supreme Court decision. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Johnson, holding that flag burning constitutes a form of symbolic speech that is protected by the First Amendment. A majority opinion. Justice Brennan. The majority opinion, authored by Justice William Brennan, stated that the government cannot prohibit the expression of an idea simply because society finds the idea itself offensive or disagreeable. The court held that Johnson's act of burning the flag was conduct sufficiently imbued with element of communication to implicate the First Amendment. The majority found that Texas' interest in preserving the flag as a symbol of nationhood and national unity did not justify Johnson's conviction for engaging in political expression. Dissenting opinion. The dissenting justices argued that the government had a legitimate interest in preserving the flag as a symbol of national unity and that this interest outweighed Johnson's expressive conduct. Key concept, implication. The ruling in Texas v. Johnson established that symbolic speech, such as flag burning, is protected by the First Amendment, even if the expression is offensive to many people. The decision underscores the principle that the government cannot prohibit speech based on its content or because it is disagreeable. Key learnings. Candidates should understand that the First Amendment protects a broad spectrum of expressive conduct, and this protection extends even to actions that may be offensive to the public. The case emphasizes the importance of protecting free speech in a democratic society, even when it involves controversial or provocative acts.